Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Just Fish Outdoors. I'm your host, Dale York, and I designed Just Fish Outdoors to focus on freshwater lakes and streams and to provide information, tips, and techniques, along with how-to segments for catching everything from crappie to catfish. We will also provide tips on equipment, tackle, boating, and much, much more. All of this is aimed at helping you catch more fish and have fun doing it. So join us each week as we talk about my favorite subject, fishing. Hi folks, Dale York, Just Fish Outdoors. And once again, it's that wonderful time of year, folks. Absolutely my favorite. It's that wonderful fall fishing. And it's here, folks. The fall fishing is absolutely my favorite time of year to enjoy being on the water. The fish are actively feeding and the weather is great. Not to mention the scenery, man, with the leaves changing colors and the brisk temperatures. It's just a very, very pleasant time to be on the water. Whether you're targeting black bass, stripers, sand bass, crappie, these fish are very actively feeding and chasing bait and feeding up before the cold temperatures of winter set in. For location, two of the keys to locating these fish this time of year is wind direction and frequency. I cannot emphasize how important these two keys are for locating and catching fish this time of year. Ideally, your best days are going to be when the wind is blown from the same direction for at least 2 days. This tends to gather these fish up in specific locations such as points, underwater humps, rocky flats, the back of coves or pockets, and the upper ends of main creeks. Another very important fact is that the bait fish are migrating towards the back of the creeks, coves, and pockets, moving to cooler water. Another key is find the bait fish in these areas, and chances are you will find your game fish. One of the key factors is think shallow. As the bait fish migrate, they can be found very shallow. In most cases, the bait fish will be in less than 4 feet of water located on windy banks and shallow flats. Since the bait fish are very shallow, well, the game fish are going to be right up there with them as well. Many times on windy banks and shallow flats, the game fish will be in less than 2 foot of water actively chasing and feeding on these bait fish. It's almost, folks, like you can't throw your bait shallow enough at certain times of the year, and this is one of them. With the bait fish being very, very shallow, man, I've caught sand bass and black bass in less than 2 foot of water. It's just amazing how shallow they can get. Another key is match the hatch when you're selecting your bait. In the fall, the bait fish size is typically larger. Take this into consideration when choosing a bait and its size. Also note the specific species of bait fish that your game fish are feeding on. For instance, in the shad family, the gizzard shad are much larger in body size than the threadfin shad. If you're fishing a body of water where the threadfin shad is the dominant bait fish, choose a smaller size bait. Selecting the right bait size can have a dramatic effect on the success of your day on the water. A 2.5-inch bait for lakes with threadfin shad to a 4-inch bait for lakes that have gizzard shad. Remember that the fish are feeding up and targeting larger bait fish. Also, the color of your bait choice can have just as big of an impact on your day as the size of the bait. If you're targeting fish that are feeding on shad in clearer water, choose shad colors like white, silver, clear with metal flake, that type of color. If the water is stained, try a chartreuse color or a shad color that is partly dyed with chartreuse. One of the awesome things about fishing in the fall is you don't have to be an early riser. One of the great things is since the fish are actively feeding most of the day, you don't have to be on the water during those two highest percentage times of day, which are sun up and sun down. You can have a productive time on the water catching fish most any time of the day. Remember, folks, wind is the key, and fishing shallow is the key. So get out there on the water and enjoy this wonderful time of year. Thanks again for joining me, and be sure to catch my YouTube channel, Just Fish Outdoors. Remember, folks, that's with a JST. If you have questions or suggestions for a show, feel free to contact me via my Facebook page, which is Just Fish Outdoors, or you can send me an email at justfishoutdoors@justfish.com. This is Dale York for Just Fish Outdoors saying, get out there and enjoy the fall weather and the fall fishing. It's magnificent, and we'll catch you later.